A convicted murderer has harmed himself with a weapon he smuggled into the Supreme Court just moments after a judge found him guilty of killing a Penrith mother. Dana Isaac was attacked in her own home in 2023 by the man she'd just started dating.
The cries of a killer stretchered out of the Supreme Court.
Wouldn't you accept what you've done?
Paul Sultana just found guilty of murder when he tried to harm himself in the dock with a smuggled razor blade. As ambulances rushed to King Street, inside the court, his lawyer used a tie as a tourniquet.
A very sad day all round.
But for the grieving family of Dana Isaac, justice.
We got him.
The 28-year-old mother murdered by the man who said he loved her. From her father, it was a good outcome for my princess. She doesn't deserve this. She was my best friend in the whole wide world. It was behind this door of her Penrith unit that her jealous and manipulative boyfriend killed her in January 2023. The day before, she'd asked him to move his belongings out. Sultana caught on CCTV cycling to his girlfriend's house with a rope and tape. Then he strangled her. Afterwards, the 32-year-old brought his mother to the crime scene. A neighbour hearing her say, "Oh my God, what have you done? You can't fix this." While she reported it to police, he took Dana's RAV4 and set it on fire, also burning his shoes in a barrel. Later, tactical police moved in and arrested him.
Despite the evidence against him, Sultana maintained his innocence, claiming someone broke into the house and murdered Dana while he was asleep on the couch. The judge ruling that wasn't even a remote possibility, describing the killing as violent and brutal.
His legal team seeking a psychiatric evaluation before sentence, but for now, he remains in St Vincent's Hospital. Annalise Bolt, 9 News.
And Annalise joins me now in the studio. Annalise, this incident in court has prompted questions about security.
Yeah, Georgie, the Supreme Court should be a secure facility, but a murderer managed to smuggle a razor blade from prison into the courtroom. The sheriffs acted quickly to regain control of the emergency and clear the court. Inmates do have access to razors in prison, and that small amount of metal can be tricky to detect. The breach now the subject of an investigation by corrective services. Georgie.
Annalise Bolt, thank you. And if you or anyone you know is a victim of domestic violence, you can call 1-800-RESPECT. That's 1-800-737-732. 80 firefighters have battled a huge blaze that erupted at a paper factory in Matraville this afternoon before spreading to nearby camper vans. The blaze is now contained, but crews are expected to remain there for hours to come.
Mountains of paper and cardboard, enough to cover a football field. Ripe for a fire, and this afternoon, with warm, dry winds, it lit up.
Just loud booms, just smoke all in the air.
The Opal paper and recycling mill at Matraville ablaze. 80 firefighters struggling to contain it, caught up in the emergency and nearby car park for camper vans, one by one, catching fire.
There was a lot of ember or paper going around, and hence we've had some fire travel even from one side of this yard to the other side of the yard.
My mates do a caravan in there, so yeah, just pretty nervous for them, obviously.
As a precaution, 100 staff at least told to get out from the northern end of the facility. So after almost 3 hours, authorities now have this blaze under control, but the battle is far from over. Firefighters are expecting to be on site until at least tomorrow afternoon. That's how long it'll take to get it all out.
And we will more than likely require some heavy plant to come in and start to pull apart those heavily compacted paper bales apart so we can get into the deep-seated fire.
Fortunately, one positive. The smoke which billowed across the site steered clear of the airport, and flights on a Friday afternoon were not impacted. Alex Heinke, 9 News.
Fresh from his United Nations address, the Prime Minister is tonight in London for a 3-day visit that will include meetings with progressive allies and the King. Anthony Albanese working with his UK counterpart to shore up support for AUKUS amid uncertainty from the United States.
From New York to London, a pop across the pond for the Prime Minister.
Welcome to the UK. It's great you're here. Yes. Prime Minister's really lovely.
Into the arms of an ally, as Australia increasingly looks to Europe for security and trade certainty, amid the uncertainty of an unpredictable US president.
The relationship is conducted at many levels. It is going well. You know, we've got the lowest tariff rate. AUKUS is happening at a pace.
AUKUS a high priority for both Anthony Albanese and his UK counterpart, Sir Keir Starmer.
I mean, it's always been a very significant economic relationship in terms of investment into Australia and indeed Australian investment into the UK. And
the pair of political progressives to join forces with Canada's like-minded leader, Mark Carney, at a conference today that will contrast with Donald Trump's climate tirade.
It's the greatest con job ever perpetrated on the world.
As Donald Trump's spray at the UN shows, the old rules are out the window. Australia's reliance on America as its security guarantor, not so assured. That's why the Prime Minister is here in Britain, working on an Australian backup plan. 3 days with an old friend and an audience with the King for a Prime Minister whose big test with Donald Trump is still to come. In London, Andrew Probyn, 9 News.
The alleged mastermind behind a multi-million-dollar fraud against Transport New South Wales has been arrested after more than 4 months on the run. Police have been searching for Ibrahim Helmi after he failed to front an independent Commission Against Corruption inquiry in May. ICAC alleges the former manager received $11.5 million in kickbacks for awarding 9 companies tenders for roadwork contracts. Helmi was arrested at an apartment block at Lakemba this afternoon. Vandals are being blamed for disruptions to train services along the Western Line this morning after they allegedly cut copper cables. The damage caused signals to fail just before 6 a.m, with trains stopped between St Mary's and Penrith. Passengers were forced to use replacement buses during the repairs. Police are investigating. A fierce fire engulfed a laundromat at Maroubra last night. It broke out around 9 o'clock and took 40 firefighters 3 hours to bring under control. An 84-year-old woman was treated at the scene for smoke inhalation. A family from Sydney's West has had a terrifying night with a group of intruders smashing their way into their home, tying them up and robbing them. Police are yet to make any arrests but have strong evidence to work with, thanks to the break-in being captured on camera.
St John's Park, minutes after midnight, and intruders are making a house call. One by one, out of the van, over the fence and through the door. In total, 6 masked and armed men.
The occupants had been restrained, assaulted, and their premises ransacked.
The family inside have told 9 News their legs and arms were bound by zip ties and their mouths taped shut. Some of the intruders dressing up as police.
A 21-year-old male within the premises, an occupant, received minor facial injuries.
Appearing cool and calm, 2 of the intruders come out with the loot. $50,000 in cash and a watch collection supposedly worth double that. Everything appears to be going to plan for these crooks. That is, until they need to turn around. The driver's 5th attempt is interrupted. The intruders scatter and escape as the residents free themselves and run to the street. This might not have been some random smash and grab. In fact, more of a planned raid. Authorities are investigating the possibility these intruders knew exactly what they were looking for and where to find it. After a long night, the victims have a big day. They're attending a wedding and will be interviewed by police once it's done. Alex Oakey, 9 News.